traders, how you doing? It's Tuesday, July 23rd, and I'm back in the saddle again. Nice green week so far. Was green yesterday, green today. There's one main reason why I'm making this video right now, and that is to just try to explain a few things about how you can bounce back from a loss. Everybody experiences losses. You have them, I have them. Anybody that trades stocks or options has losses. And last week was interesting for me because it was the first red week that I've had in well over a year. Now, I've had red days here and there, over the last year, but not an actual red week, meaning, 3 or more out of 5 days being red for me in well over a year. And last week I did have a red week, and it was mainly because the tech trade really fell out so hard. Anybody that's watching this video pays attention to the market, so I don't need to explain it to you. Tech was miserable last week, and if you watch this channel, you know that that's mainly what I trade. I do a lot of like AMD, I've traded NVIDIA, Meta, Apple, tech stuff, semiconductors, I trade a lot of that, MU. So I'm frequently in tech, and I really screwed it up bad last week. But the thing that you need to do when you screw up, if your strategy is solid, you don't change the strategy, you merely change how you approach that individual day. And when I look back and analyze my losses from last week, it's not because my strategy is wrong. The strategy is rock solid. I mean, the strategy has worked for me week after week after week, like forever. The strategy works. It's that I did not do the thing that I know I should have done based on what I was seeing there in that moment, simply because I had had so much success doing the thing a certain way, and I just looked at those particular days as if the same thing was going to happen the way that it had always happened before. So what I mean by that is I've had so many trades where they might not have worked out for me right away, but if I've got enough time in the trade, I'll think to myself, okay, the chances of just, consecutive down days are very, very slim. So if a price was falling out on me, instead of getting scared and closing out, a lot of times I would just add in on the low points, basically, add in on the dips and then ride the price back up. That's what I did on the $17,000 Apple trade that I had last month. Price was actually down really bad for me on one day, like the day before their big conference. So I had been losing a lot of money, but rather than stopping out for a loss, I added in, and then price came back around, and then 17 grand, and the rest is history. So my problem was spending too much of my thought remembering all of the times that very same thing had worked. Simply add in on the dips, price will come back, make money. The problem was last week, after midday Monday, price just fell out pretty much all week long. It was just a really miserable week. And so there was never that moment where it bottomed out and rounded back up. And so I never got the chance to take advantage of the ride back up to the upside. So that was completely my fault. Rather than seeing the charts as they were right in front of my face, I was thinking about all the times that I did this other thing and it won for me. And I was thinking, well, it won that time and the time before that and the time before that and on and on and on. Therefore, it's going to win again this time. And it didn't. You know, everything that works keeps on working until it doesn't work. And so that particular thing didn't work last week. But the point is, and the point of this video is, just because I screwed up in the way that I traded things last week, that doesn't mean that the strategy is wrong. The strategy is right. And if I had actually traded the strategy, like literally the way that I set it out in my book and in my course, I would have made a ton of money last week going short, because I would have identified the move to the downside. I would have seen that really strong bearish trend happening, and I would have gotten in on the downside, on the trend going down, and I would have made a ton of money. But I screwed up because in my mind I was remembering all the times that I did this other thing and it actually worked for me. So that's not the strategy's fault, that was my fault. The strategy works. And so, you know, what happens when you have a bad day or even a bad week? You don't question the strategy when your strategy is solid. You question the way that you are trading. And so that's what I did. And this week, if you are getting my newsletter, you'll see that I said, you know, on Monday, be very, very careful, you know, because we're gonna see kind of the big picture of how the market is going to unfold for the week on Monday. And so I traded very small size yesterday, made just a few $100s. I think it was like between $200 and $300 profit yesterday, so nothing to write home about. And then this morning I traded a little bit larger because I saw some things that had developed yesterday, and you know, based on my technical analysis, got in with a little bit more size today. Still not as much as I usually trade. I'm still trying to be conservative because I do think that we're still in that mode where things are a little bit more tenuous. It's not so much of a, you know, straight up like up or down ride like the way that we had last week. So, you know, I traded a little bit more conservatively than I normally do today. Still made over 11% and just over $1,000 on the day this morning in less than 1 hour. So I'll throw up the screenshot right now of my trades for the day, my P&L. And you'll see that in less than an hour, I made 11%. Upwards of $1,000 on the day today. So, you know, the moral of the story is when you have a loss, don't let it freak you out. Don't let it scare you. Don't think that just because you lost one day, or even if you had a losing week, don't think that I'll never be able to figure out what I'm doing. I'll never be able to get it or whatever. When the strategy is solid, just keep on playing the strategy and it will work for you as long as you are on top of everything. Just stay focused and stay on top of your trades and it's going to work. You know, I lost thousands of dollars last week, and you know, I'm not embarrassed to admit it. You know, I lost a few $1,000s last week trading. No big deal. I made up a big chunk of it today because I made $1,000 today and made $200 yesterday, and I'm completely confident that I'm going to bring back all of my losses from last week probably by tomorrow, or if not by tomorrow, definitely by the end of this week. So, you know, a loss, a losing day, or even a losing week, it's nothing to freak out over. It's not a reason to stop trading. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and you know, just stay sharp and stay on top of everything. And if you do that, you're going to be successful. So that's the only thing I wanted to say today. Just, you know, how to bounce back from a loss. Don't let losses freak you out. Don't let them shake your confidence too much. Simply look back at what you're doing and have a real honest look at yourself and be like, what is it that I did wrong? I looked at my own actions from last week, and in hindsight, hindsight's always 20/20. I figured out exactly what I did wrong. And now if that same thing happens again to me, I'm not going to automatically believe that just because this thing that worked, over and over is, going to necessarily work for me again. I'm going to do a better job of looking at the charts exactly as they are right in front of my eyes at every moment. And so that's the lesson that I learned from my bad week last week. But I learned my lesson. I got back on the horse, and I'm, already on my way to erasing all of the losses from last week, and I'm not even stressed over it. I'm just confident and comfortable in what I'm doing day after day, and so I'm going to keep doing it. So I hope you're having a green week so far, and when I have some more interesting news to report, I'll be back with another video. So till then, take care and have a lot of green days to come. See you soon.